Good morning. I just thought I would come on here and answer a question that has been asked of me. I think it was asked about a week ago. Someone asked in a post on Facebook. I think they said, how are you privileged to so much information? How do you know all the things that you know that goes on in the community and the city and all this other stuff and what's going on in the government? Well, I'm going to answer that question today. I am. Because, one, a lot of people don't know that I'm a retired intelligence analyst who works for the government for more than 30 years, and I know how to ask questions, when to ask questions, and what type of questions to ask. Get maybe some of the questions answered that you have answered, or questions that you need answers to. So, and then one thing my mother always told me too was, if you wanted to know what the answers are to certain things, then you have to ask the question. I mean, you can ask other people, but that doesn't mean you're going to get the truth. So, wouldn't it be better to go to the source? I mean, go straight to the person that you know is the common denominator. Ask them the question. Ask them exactly what's going on. Ask them exactly, you know, about what you want to know. And I'm eminent about going to people and asking questions. Whether I get the whole answer, sometimes there are people that can tell you what actually you're asking about, and then there's some people who will beat around the bush and say, hey, I can only tell you so much. And then there's some people who are just waiting to tell you the whole entire story about the whole thing. But normally, I don't know any more than anybody else. I don't. I don't. I just ask questions. And because of the fact that I want to know the answers to these questions, um, I get the answers. I do. And it doesn't bother me to ask questions. Again, I feel like if I want to know something, I need to ask the question. So when people say stuff to me, and I know it went blurred there because it's kind of refocusing. When people say stuff to me and I answer the question, and then you come back and you go to the public, well, how do you know all that stuff? It's because I've asked the question. As simple as that. You could ask the question too. But I find that there's a lot of people who will get on social media and they'll talk about a topic and talk amongst themselves. And it's almost like that old adage of the story where I tell you the sky is blue. And by the time the story comes back to you, the sky was blue, but it was cloudy and it had rained. Yeah, that's how misinformation gets started. So, a lot of times, when I put out stuff, I've already answered the question. I already know what the answer of that question was, and I've already talked to the right people about it, and then I'll say what I know. I don't speculate. I don't beat around the bush. I'm a very black and white person. I told you that. I'm a very, very, very black and white person when it comes to putting stuff out. I believe that if you're going to say something, say it with honesty, truth, and integrity, and not put out something that's false and then start rumors. And I don't believe in lying because if I lie to you today, chances are when you figure out I lied to you, I have to tell you either another lie or then you're going to stop trusting me and telling you anything. And I'd rather you trust me and get good information from me than have to get it somewhere else and tell them, well, Mr. Hayes talked about it, but it was a lie. That's all I got to say. So that's the answer to that. Why I know so much, why I seem to have answers to some of the information that most people don't have is because I'm willing to ask the questions. So keep the questions coming. And all I can say is it's almost the weekend. Well, it's Friday. So let's have a good day. Have a great weekend. See you next week. If I don't post something else new.